and welcome back to the most amazing top 10 channel on the internet. I am your host Rebecca Felgate, and today I'm talking about a dastardly little cretin who actually I haven't mentioned in a long time. So it is high time we mention her again. You already know the title of this video because you clicked on it, but I want to say it anyway. This is the top 10 Scary Annabelle Stories. What a creep. Before we get into this, why don't you guys let me know if you believe if Annabelle is a real haunted doll, or do you think it's all fake news or a good Halloween story? Let me know in the comment section down below. Also, while you're down there, why don't you leave a thumbs up, share this video with a friend, click on the notification bell so you stay up to date with top 10 videos. Check out the links in our description box to our most amazing Instagrams. Alright, a little backstory on Annabelle, although if you don't know who she is, you will by the end of this video. She's supposed to be the most evil and demonic doll ever to grace the earth, and she lives in a sealed box in the Warren Occult Museum in Connecticut. So, bear that in mind. Alright, what are the stories? Coming in at number 10, we have the prayers.
Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen.
What has been done is circular embolism, which is prayers, are said all the time, you know, to pray.
Annabelle is said to be so demonic that a regular circumambulation has to be performed, which is basically prayers carried out by a priest who blesses the room that she's kept in order to stop her evil energy escaping. This is what Lorraine Warren had to say about the priest.
Which is prayers, are said all the time, you know, to pray.
You have a priest to bless?
Yes, yes, definitely, definitely. Yes, oh my God, yes.
Basically, she confirms that the museum has its own priest. In order to touch Annabelle, it seems that a person actually has to be blessed by a priest. This is seemingly confirmed in a video that went out on Facebook Live of a team member moving her from her case. Have a listen to what the team had to say.
And I want to say first the St. Michael the Archangel prayer. Then Dan is going to use extreme caution, and we'll talk about that, how he's going to transport the doll over to the other case.
Blessings pretty necessary then. From the prayers to the priest at number 9, and this one did not fare so well. It seems that the Warrens have always had good relationships with priests. They need them, evidently. They believed that God would help them protect from the evil living in their basement, although they knew that even priests might not be a good match for the evil contained there. I don't know why they ever thought about, you know, just containing stuff off-site, but, you know, too little too late. One day a priest friend came over to the Warrens for lunch, and over tea the priest asked Lorraine about the doll. He asked if he could see Annabelle, and so Ed took him downstairs, but warned him not to touch anything. Now the priest stupidly ignored Ed's warning, and he picked up Annabelle and threw her across the room, and he screamed, "God is more powerful than any devil or demon." Ed was absolutely horrified. He said, "Father, you should not have touched that doll. Yes, God may be more powerful, but no priest or human living is a good match." Well, can you imagine what happened? The priest went on his way, but he never made it back to his rectory that day. Why? Because he lost control of his car on the I-84 and crashed. Although, luckily for him, he didn't die. It was a further warning from the doll, and this time he actually did heed it. He called Ed when he got out of hospital and cried down the phone. He said, "I should have listened to you, Ed. I shouldn't have touched that doll." What else did he say? He said that when he was driving, one of the last things he saw was Annabelle's face in the rearview mirror before he crashed. So, did Annabelle do it? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Coming into number 8, we have the Tarot Devil. Some of you may have noticed from looking at images of the real Annabelle in her box that attached to the front is the Devil Tarot card. How many of you guys have watched our top 10 scary tarot cards you never want to see video? If you have seen it, then you'll know that amongst other things, you don't want to be seeing the devil. Although when I had my tarots read for the year, the devil was my overruling card. So anyway, Annabelle and the devil really isn't a combination that you want to see, right? Too much evil. Evil in two sides. Tarots are personal to the people that they're being shown to, so it's hard to give you a reading of what the devil generally means, but if I had to say, I would say like life in bondage, a life sucker, bad habits, destruction, negative forces, bad energy. So maybe with it showing up for Annabelle, it's an indicator that she is possessed, or maybe it's just for show. Coming into number 7, we have the voices. Many people who have visited the museum claim to have felt or heard scary forces in that room, but it seems you don't actually have to go there to experience how horrifying the energy is. It seems that following a video posted in February 2016 by Gravity Media Productions, a viewer claimed to hear voices in the background. A comment pinned by the uploader, Hyper1, wrote, "I watched this video at full volume and I assure you that I can hear voices of spirits behind." The comment has been liked 450 times, with others responding to say that they had heard it too. Awful. Coming into number 6, we have the actors. As you may have noticed, Annabelle in real life is actually much less intimidating looking than the Annabelle doll used in the movie. In the film, she's a porcelain doll with utterly horrifying facial features, including deep-set eyes. In real life, she's kind of a cuddly Raggedy Ann doll, which I actually kind of think makes her creepier to me, although I totally understand that that would be hard to portray in terms of horror in a movie. I'm assured that she's not comic, but I guess if she was a Raggedy Ann doll in the film, she'd kind of look it like, surprise! Director James Wan wanted something more visually disturbing for the film, so the Annabelle that we know from the big screen was created. Now it's rumoured that the prop doll may have been haunted too, and the actors didn't want to go anywhere near her. In an interview, Wan said, "We knew we had something special when people would go out of their way to avoid Annabelle on set. She definitely gave off an inherently creepy vibe." I'm saying maybe she was possessed too, right? Coming into number 5, we have the eyes. The eyes. The story goes that even Lorraine Warren herself would not look at the doll in the eye for fear of what it would do to her. Have a look at some footage of Lorraine when she was alive back in 2013 and giving a tour of the museum.
The worst thing in here is that doll. I'm not gonna stare at it though. So you can take the picture, but I'm not going to stare at it because that is done.
She had known that doll for 40 years and she still wouldn't look at it. It seems that the Warrens' daughter Judy also wouldn't look at the doll either. This is what she had to say.
My parents always told me, don't give it recognition, don't look it in the eyes. And to this day, I will not look it in the eyes.
Crikey, poor Judy having to live in a house with that doll. Get better parents, I mean, I'm sorry, Judy. Coming into number 4, we have the $1 million bargain. Rumour has it that since both Ed and Lorraine Warren have passed away, museum director Tony Sepra is in charge of maintaining their legacy, and as a result, people have been coming at him with offers for various items in the museum. They want to own them. It is said that he was offered $1 million for the Annabelle doll, but he refused, saying it was absolutely not for sale. He said, and I quote, "It is totally reckless and irresponsible to let that doll out into the public realm." Good thing he didn't fancy making a quick buck then. Coming into number 3, we have the disturbing story of the crash. There are a lot of scary stories associated with those who have blatantly ignored curses and how that has ended up for them. I always think of the guy who sat in the Busby stoop chair in Yorkshire. He died later, and I have to say there have been deaths associated with those who have provoked Annabelle too. There is a sign on Annabelle's case warning for people not to touch the doll, but one museum goer ignored the warning. The man was said to have arrived on a motorbike with his girlfriend, and have a listen to what happened.
Kind of cocky. Goes over the rope that was right here, and he starts banging on the glass, and he says, "If that doll could put slashes on anybody, do it to me right now."
So he implored the doll to slash him. Great idea. Imagine what happened next. It is said that he was killed in an accident 3 hours later. His girlfriend, however, luckily didn't die. She said that the last thing she remembered was laughing and joking about the doll with her boyfriend, who then lost control of his wheel and crashed into a tree head on. The clip that you saw in this video actually came from Haley Reese's Occult Museum video. There is actually a link to that video in the description box. I actually think you should check it out because it's pretty creepy. She went recently, and like, respect to her.
Was it the doll that did that? Was it the demonic that destroyed this guy's life? I can't say for sure. Could have been just an accident. But why would you challenge the demonic? Why would you challenge the unknown realm?
Coming in at number 2, we have The Nurse. Okay, so the time has come for the original Annabelle story. It seems that her story began in 1970 when a 28-year-old nurse named Donna received the doll as a gift from her mum. My mum hasn't bought me a doll since I was about 8, but you know what? No judgment. Donna soon noticed that the doll would change positions. It then seemed that the doll began leaving notes for her and her roommate, things like, "Help me, help us." The doll then began to appear in different rooms and at one point seemed to even leak blood. The girls contacted a medium who determined that the doll was possessed with the spirit of Annabelle Higgins, who died aged 7. According to the Warren's Occult website, the medium claimed that Annabelle was comforted by the roommates and wanted to stay with them and be loved. They gave Annabelle permission to inhabit the doll, but worryingly, that wasn't enough. It was all a ruse, and this is where the Warrens got involved. This is what leads me to my point number 1, arguably one of the scariest stories about Annabelle. We have the body. What does Annabelle want? Your body. When does she want it? Like, literally now. The Warrens visited the women after reading about the doll and quickly came to the conclusion that actually the doll itself was not possessed by Annabelle, but it was being manipulated by an inhuman presence that was not looking to stay attached to the doll. Instead, it was looking to possess a human host. In an interview, Lorraine explained that Annabelle wants a body, and that's why she has to be locked away. In the interview, she said, if you're vulnerable, it would be you. So anyone in a vulnerable state really had better stay away from Annabelle, unless you want your Casa to be her Casa. And I'm thinking, do you know what, Annabelle? Stay away from me. Wow, that was that. Thank you so much for watching this video. So after 10 minutes of chatter, do tell me, do you think that Annabelle is actually possessed or is it a hoax? I can't wait to read your comments in the comments box down below. Speaking of, I'm reading out some comments from the top 10 scary myths that might be true. That actually had Annabelle in the thumbnail, coincidentally. Slime Bubble said, it's for sure our smart devices eavesdropping, and I hope that we confirm where Atlantis was really located in my lifetime. Thank you for recommending buns. Ooh, you're welcome, I love buns. Cowway Strawberry said, I love Rebecca so much and I definitely take inspiration from your fashion. Slay all day, queen. That's what I try and do. I slay. All day. Good. I'm actually a massive goof in real life, so slaying's not really on the agenda, but thank you. Thank you. Great comment from Vive, who said, I am going to be a bit too serious here and say that the biggest mystery of all time for me would be how and why humankind developed a sense of superiority. Why is it needed? And would our history be different if it never was there? Also, the extreme curiosity to know everything, that's a mystery to me. But on a lighter note, I do fancy Atlantis and anything cryptozoology. Honestly, I think that's a great point, and I think our sense of curiosity is what sets us apart from other animals, and our need to know things is why we are where we are now, and probably why you're watching this video. So, yay for being human, yay, but also boo for Annabelle the doll. Please do leave a thumbs up on this video, let me know what you want to see in the future. Check out the links in our description box to our sources and our most amazing Instagrams. I'm your host Rebecca Felgate, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!